Good morning, everyone. As you all know, the convention center expansion is in the news today because the Chargers have announced their intention to delay the plan. The Chargers, as we all know, are an enormous community resource, and we respect their concerns. That said, I want to talk about why I remain every bit as committed to the current plan as I did before I became the interim mayor. The current plan, the one that is scheduled to go before the California Coastal Commission next month, is the product of years of study, analysis, and public debate. It is the end result of countless hours of thought and consideration. It is a plan that is absolutely critical for us to keep Comic-Con, the single most exciting and buzz-producing convention in the United States. It is a plan that is vital for us to retain and attract other conventions, most of whom have made it perfectly clear that they want to hold their events at a place with contiguous space. Few conventions are interested in holding their events in a venue that is spread out over several city blocks. The numbers speak for themselves. If we succeed in expanding the convention center under the current proposal, the annual economic impact could be as high as $700 million a year. 7,000 permanent jobs would be created, plus an additional 3,000 construction jobs. The city's general fund would see a $13 million annual boost in taxes. This project will also provide a 5-acre rooftop public park, a spectacular addition to San Diego's downtown waterfront, something that families from across this community will be able to enjoy. After all of these years, after all of this hard work and planning, it is more important now than ever to make sure that this plan gets all the necessary approvals so that we can begin the work as soon as possible. I want to assure everyone who has worked so hard on this issue that I will vigorously support the plan next month before the California Coastal Commission, and I know that I will be joined by the vast majority of San Diegans who want to see this project done. Happy to take any questions at this time.
Do you think the Charger plan would jeopardize the current one?
I don't believe that the Chargers plan is mutually exclusive. I think we can pursue both projects, but the fact of the matter is that we have a very important date with the California Coastal Commission in October. I intend to keep that appointment, and I intend to walk out of there with approval for our project.
Chargers say they've talked to you. Have you looked at their plan closely and you just decided it's not the time to introduce that part of it, or where are you with that?
In my 5 years in office, I've met with the Chargers once. That was just a few months ago. The project at that time is a concept, is how I would describe it. One that we know generally where they want to be, sort of east of Tailgate Park. But what I don't know is the exact cost of that project. I've heard numbers between $800 million and $1.2 billion. I don't know how much taxpayer money is expected to be invested in order to make that project possible. I don't know where we would move the bus yard to in order to accommodate the convention, the stadium. So there are a lot of things that I don't know. Conversely, with the convention center expansion, I know how much this will cost. I know what it looks like. I know what the city component or contribution is. So they're really two different projects. They aren't mutually exclusive, but one is achievable soon. And if we do achieve it, not only we get all those numbers that I just mentioned, but we keep things like Comic-Con, which will not be possible if we do not move forward with the Phase 3 expansion. Sharon?
When you talk about the two different plans, so then moving forward, you are going to try to work with the Chargers. Is there a possibility that there might be to combine these two together?
No. What we are moving forward with the Phase 3 Convention Center expansion is not a football stadium. It is not that. It is a project that is meant to capture the 1 year's worth of business that we're turning away today because we can't accommodate them with the size of our current convention facility. What I'm saying, though, and I want to be very clear, the Chargers are an important part of our community. Professional sports is a hallmark of a great city. We are a great city. I want to work with the Chargers to keep them here, but I want to do it in a way that is as thoughtful as the process that we went through with the convention center expansion, and one that can allow me to go to the people of the city and explain to them exactly what we're getting for that kind of investment. I don't have that process or those answers at this time. Laura, you had something?
Yeah, I'm getting back to Steve Green's question about could this potentially derail the project at the Coastal Commission. The Coastal Commission staff, at least, has made it clear they want to see alternative proposals of expansion that would be non-contiguous, and they say the city or the port hasn't provided them with that. Now they have that opening. They're going in and saying, Coastal Commission, we have that alternative. isn't that potentially jeopardize this project?
We have to go to the Coastal Commission and argue for our project. There's no question. This is a big project and it deserves scrutiny and review. What I will say is, again, we have done a great deal of review for this project. We had a Citizens Commission back in 2009 look at the question of non-contiguous space or not. They eliminated that as a viable option. I think we're certainly open to hearing what commissioners want to tell us when we go before them. But again, know that this project has the united support of this community. We have people from all corners of this community, business and labor, members of the city council, the interim mayor. We are all there in support. Our convention center board, our port commission, everyone is on board with this project, and we will be there in force to communicate that to our commissioners in October. Phil.
Let me ask you, I think you said a few months ago, was it March 20th when you and your staff met with the Chargers and the alternative plan was brought to you guys, was sort of outlined, but you're saying it was not complete? Is that what you were saying?
I didn't research the date before I came up here, but that sounds about right. The meeting was with Mark Fabiani and just Mr. Fabiani. At that time, there was a discussion of East Village. You know, I'm the council member for downtown San Diego. That made sense. But in terms of what does it look like? How much of a footprint will it take? What will it cost financially? Again, I've heard numbers from 800 million, of which they're willing to put up 400 million, or 1.2 billion is a number I heard yesterday. I don't know if their contribution has increased. These are discussion points that we should have and that my door is always open for, but I don't have answers to that today. And I have to give hard answers to the Coastal Commission in just a few weeks, and I have those with the Phase 3 project, not with the Charger Stadium.
So you are willing to meet with the Chargers once again if necessary between now and whatever?
I have always asked to meet with the Chargers. You know, there's a reason why there's only been one meeting in 5 years, and it wasn't me. My door is always open. Listen, I want to make sure very clear. There's one person in this city who wants the Chargers to stay here more than me, and that's my father. And I will not be welcome at Thanksgiving dinner if we do not find a way to keep the Chargers in San Diego. I am very personally motivated to do this. But my commitment to the people of this city is that we'll do it in a way that's respectful for their public dollars and that they will be able to weigh in on this. And we don't have that yet. But we do have a date with the Coastal Commission, and I intend to keep it. Steve.
What are your thoughts on the financial plan that's in the course?
I believe we will win. Sorry. I'm supportive of the model. I believe we will be vindicated in court. And it's important to note about that particular financing mechanism. What we know is that our hotels across the region are all pitching in to make this possible. They're contributing roughly $500 million to make this project happen. Those dollars are not portable. You cannot take those dollars from the financing district and contribute them to a football stadium. It's not possible. And so if this project does not move forward, those dollars evaporate. And it seems to me that it would leave us in a situation where neither project is possible. What I want is for both projects to be possible. And so we have to take care of Convention Center first, and we'll deal with the stadium shortly thereafter.
Hey, Todd, so, you know, obviously you're interim mayor and you're moving forward with this. But when we do get a new mayor, what's the guarantee that they're not going to come in and change all the work that you're doing?
Well, again, it's not just the work that I've done. It's the work that the community has done over many, many years. There is a consensus for this convention center expansion. A number of the candidates for mayor have voted for this as members of the city council. So I suspect that their positions will not change. Suffice to say, by the time we see a new mayor, which we think will be sometime late winter, early spring, we will have gone before the Coastal Commission. What I hope to do is to give them a project that's entitled, that they can move forward on, that individual will be able to cut the ribbon on. That's what my goal is in this. And again, they can continue whatever negotiations we start with the charters. I hope that we can do that. And again, my door is always open.